Warren Buffett now owns as many Apple shares as Coca-Cola after halving his Apple stake and even $400 million, sparking concerns or speculation that he's done selling. Joining us now is Ben Reitzes, head of technology research, Melius Research. Ben, great to see you.
Hi, Melissa.
Is this any sort of verdict on Apple shares and whether or not they've peaked, do you think, or no?
Yeah, I think it was an opportunity for folks on that Monday morning when it opened up. I feel that Apple's in a generational upgrade cycle. First, the install base of phones are old, so we have that going for us, but then Apple Intelligence only works on the newer phones, and we think there'll be form factor changes as we go throughout the years as well over the next few years. So we're pretty upbeat. I know that he sold, but I think he's got some other motivations.
There is some skepticism, though, regarding Apple Intelligence and how much of a force it will be in the upgrade cycle. If you really pared back expectations in terms of that being a driver, particularly because it's only in the highest end of the phones, what does that upgrade cycle get you in terms of valuation, if it's the most conservative estimates for Apple Intelligence?
Well, we have a bull case where within a few years we have Apple earning well over $9, even approaching $10 in our bull case. But in the historical cycles, we've seen growth that can well eclipse 20% in iPhones. But the way we look at it is expectations are actually relatively low. The street's only at mid-single digits iPhone growth this year and even less the next. So that looks very beatable. It should be a gradual upgrade cycle and then probably come to its peak in 2026, in our opinion. But even gradual is better than what we've had with the lack of growth. And it's a very profitable product. So we are really upbeat. I think among the Mag 7, it's pretty good visibility, and the growth's accelerating.
Yep. For Nvidia, we're awaiting the earnings on the 28th, and I'm wondering how the story sets up. You know, on August 5th, people were really doubting the growth story within the AI sector, but now all of the stocks are pretty much back above August 5th levels, roughly. So where are we in terms of the setup going to those numbers?
Well, there's been what we call ROI fog, where everybody's worried about, is there an ROI? And ROI is the most subjective thing probably within our coverage questions lately. But we feel that Nvidia is really still the market leader, still dominant, and they are really set up well for next year. The reason is a lot of the apps that are coming are going to start inferencing. Video is a big catalyst, so we're hoping to see that. But I think that their Blackwell concerns that there was a push out were a little overblown. You know, we think that the Hopper stuff is going really well for them in the near term, but hopefully there's no air pocket.
Ben, have you thought about when might be a time to start thinking about investing in the people that are buying the chips from Nvidia, as to whether or not that would mean something to their bottom line?
Well, Nvidia actually invests in some of their own customers.
Right.
But, in terms of investing, you mean in the other equities?
Well, let's say I think Nvidia is either overblown or is fully valued here, and that Nvidia makes a chip. And that chip is like an input into the process. Somebody's using that chip, and they're going to make money with that chip. Who's going to make money with the chips Nvidia is making?
Well, first, it's going to be the clouds. So the hyperscalers, Meta, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, they'll create tools, and then folks join their clouds and then start creating AI apps. Now, a lot of people are like, hey, I'm not using it, or I got bored with it. So what we need to start seeing is enterprises layer their data on some of the tools these companies have, including their models, and then start generating returns. What it's looking like right now is that it helps them cut costs, which means some people, which may actually help the Fed's reasoning here. But it does look like a lot of the leading tech companies are using AI to keep headcount down. So it's the same as 7. It's an incestuous circle here. No, I do think that a lot of companies, it'll be led by tech, but a lot of the enterprises over time will be using AI to be more efficient. Customer service already looks amazing as a use case, coding, and then a lot of stuff in healthcare. I actually do some work with Mount Sinai, and you're really optimistic about what it means for healthcare and diagnoses.
In the chip race, we heard this morning that Texas Instruments is receiving some CHIPS Act money. How do you think that rollout is going, and is there going to be a better backdrop for our national champion in the chip sector, and that would be Intel, which has been, really troubled stock this year?
Yeah. Well, look, I think that what you have to remember about the CHIPS Act is it's not just the Intels of the world. There's also TSMC, which is the leader undisputed champ of manufacturing, and we need to get their expertise over here. They're a friend of the U.S., so they're going to be getting some money. And where I'm focused more is on the real leading edge stuff, the AI chip stuff. Obviously, Texas is a little different and a few of them. But remember, the CHIPS Act's also going to invest in packaging. So there's a company, Amcor, that can benefit there, as well as the entire ecosystem. So AMAT, reported it very worrisome that they may lose some China revenue. But, the CHIPS Act money could underpin some more growth for them and replace that revenue.
Two very quick questions. Is Intel fixable?
It's
20 seconds.
Yeah, 20 seconds. No, look, it's been, yes, I think it's fixable. I've said before on your air, on the later show, look, this is like a Boeing kind of situation where we really need this company to work.
Right.
And it's going to be very hard to kick them out of the enterprise. However, AMD is going to gain share, and we need to see it. We need to see them stop the bleeding soon. But it should be a few more quarters of share losses.
Do you have a view on this Epic Games App Store situation?
Look, it's not surprising. It was in line with my expectations. All our work is showing that actually AI and Apple Intelligence and what Apple's doing in services may actually help the App Store. But I would view it as not a surprise, given the regulation that we see in the EU, but we'll watch it carefully. But I'm actually pretty optimistic about services for Apple.
So you don't think it's going to change the dynamic? I think no one's going to be buying games on Epic's App Store as opposed to Apple.
When we talk to Apple and look at the results, it's not like users love going outside the App Store. There's a convenience, and it's secure, and it's going to work. And then you got to stop what you're doing and go outside. It's really, would you do it? It's only certain kind of high users that might actually want to go outside the walled garden, as you said in a prior segment.